We're shifting to a new paradigm when we talk about RTI. And this paradigm shift occurs not only at understanding where we're going to be working with the kids, but understanding that our teachers, our support personnel, general and special education, and our parents need new sets of skills in order for this to be a reality. One of the things that I see all the time is that people don't want to leave go of their turfs. I'll go into district, well, that's for special ed to do. Well, we're about all kids. We're all going to do this together. It's not general ed, it's not special ed, it's all ed. And one of my districts that I've had the most tremendous amount of success, and it's one of my larger districts, Conroe ISD, one of the things we did 2 years ago is we rewrote, as a district, everyone's job description. Because we didn't want people to have turf. We didn't want people to say, well, only special ed does this. Only general ed does this. Only Section 504 or counselors do this. And we rewrote job descriptions from the paraeducators to the psychologists, to the diagnosticians, to all staff. So that staff had buy-in that we're in this together. We're working together as a team. And that one of the most marvelous things that I heard today was that an intervention is in a certain time. Intervention is instruction all day. Intervention occurs in every classroom and every area of the school. It's from our belief systems about how all children can learn. It's with our positive support systems. The Behavior RTI book just came out, and what we talk about all the time in the Behavior RTI book is kids have to feel safe and secure. They have to feel that school is a safe place for them. And how is that? That's how we deliver the instruction. It's how we greet them every morning with a smile. It's how we know their names and we know their personalities and we showcase their interests. And then we build on that, the instruction and the intervention. So it's ongoing from the, I think RTI begins the minute the child walks through that classroom door, pre-K or K, and it walks with them their whole entire life. That RTI is not just about our struggling learners, it's about all our kids. It's about what we do every day that makes sense for all kids. And one of the notions we have with RTI, it's not a system where we're moving up. And the analogy I like to use, it's not an escalator up for a higher order of interventions. It's more of an elevator up and down because our kids at different points in their life developmentally will need more support than others in reading, writing, and math. And that's okay. It's okay for us to just build that support wherever it is, and then it's just as important that we take it away when they no longer need it. And so we're going to build that. And so we look at our tiered interventions as all kids, direct instruction, some kids that need just more layered of specific interventions or instruction, and then few kids that need a high intensity of interventions. The National Council on Learning Disabilities, the National Joint Commission on Learning Disabilities talks about the importance of our kids that have learning disabilities, even those that have learning disabilities in reading. We know that the best place for them to learn is in the classroom, the general ed classroom. It's not in a resource room. It's not away somewhere else. That's good. We're building foundational skills. We're providing automaticity of those skills. But the best learning occurs when they're with their peers. And they're being afforded access to that general ed curriculum on grade level and high expectations. And so when you look at your interventions, part of your interventions are grade core curricular supports for your kids that need a little extra, but they're in there getting the full grade level instruction. Part of your interventions are for those kids that not only need that, but are going to need more intensified intervention and a foundational skill. And those foundational skills in reading, and I think about this when I have to tell you something that breaks my heart, and I hear this a lot. When I go to an intermediate or a junior high school sometimes, we don't teach reading. Oh, yes, you do. You teach reading every day in every class, all content areas. But when I ask some of my teachers that I work with, what are the foundational skills in reading some of your children need to be able to access your core curriculum? They can't tell us. And so part of what you do, what all of you do in this room, is bring an avenue or vehicle for teachers to understand that, to be able to look at the resources that you have available for children, and then have teachers connect with those resources and then understand to really how to deliver some intensified intervention for our kids that are struggling. That's when those growth rates just start becoming phenomenal. That's when the kids stop breaking. I've had some of my ED kids do that. And the frustration comes from not connecting with the curriculum. And Kay and I were having a conversation last night, and I told her that they omitted something from the behavior book that I've asked them to place back in. I guess they unilaterally thought it was in the wrong book. But I had a whole section on reading interventions. Because what we know from the research is most of our kids that have significant behavior problems can't read. They're functionally illiterate. Or the ones that are having severe behavior problems may be able to read, but their comprehension's not there. And so for me, the first step in behavior intervention is reading. Then we're going to talk about behavior. But if we don't have the kids connecting with the curriculum, we're going to see behavior. Well, they took it out of the book because they said, oh, that's supposed to be in one of the other RTI books. Well, no. Can you please put that back in? And I thought that was interesting because a lot of people want to compartmentalize our kids. And it's not. They're one package. And they're very complex. When I write psychological evaluations, I was writing one yesterday for a school district. First statement is, this student presents a very complex diagnostic case, meaning it's not easy to just say, okay, I have these numbers, I'm going to use one piece of data, and I have these numbers, and now I know what I'm going to do with that child. It's constantly evaluating and moving and aligning the intervention with that.